This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 639, Overcoming Life Challenges with These Three Powerful Principles by Mary Jaksch of GoodLifeZen.com. And I'm Justin Malik. Happy Sunday, and welcome back to Optimal Living Daily, or OLD for short, a podcast with a vision of bringing hundreds of blogs to audio for free. And here I currently read from a bunch of different personal development and minimalism blogs like The Minimalist, Zen Habits, Mark and Angel, and many more, including Good Life Zen, which I'm reading today. So with that, let's hear the post as we optimize your life. Overcoming Life Challenges with These Three Powerful Principles by Mary Jaksch of GoodLifeZen.com. If you want to overcome a life challenge, the following post will help you follow through. Whether you want to change how you are, change how you live, or want to learn a new skill, the process of change is strangely similar. All self-development, whether it's getting fitter or learning new skills, follows the same three principles: comfort, stretch, and stress. This theory was developed by two psychologists, Andy Ryan and Donna Markova. Comfort is the realm of our ingrained habits. Stress happens when the challenge is so great that we feel overwhelmed. Stretch is the zone in which true change happens. I experience these three principles of development each time I go to yoga class. If I stay in the comfort zone, my body remains as it is and I don't develop flexibility, strength, and balance. If I force my stretches, I am apt to sustain injuries. It is in the mid-range where I stretch further than is comfortable that sustained change happens. The comfort zone has its own importance. For example, it's important to hold a stretch and relax into it until it feels comfortable. Only then should one enter the stretch zone once more in order to lengthen muscles and ligaments. The optimal way of development is by alternating between comfort and stretch whilst avoiding stress. The stretch zone can feel uncomfortable because the new skills or behaviors feel strange and awkward. Donna Markova says, quote, "Try lacing your hands together. You habitually do it one way. Now try doing it with the other thumb on top. Feels awkward, doesn't it? That's the valuable moment we call confusion when we fuse the old with the new," unquote. After the phase of confusion, the brain begins organizing the new input, creating new pathways in the brain if the process is repeated often enough. This is an unusual take on confusion, but it is in line with the original meaning, as confusion means binding together. It means that it is necessary for the habitual and the new to fuse in order for a new habit to form. This reminds me of the transformation of an ordinary caterpillar into a beautiful butterfly. I describe this transformation in my article Threshold as follows, quote, "When the time for transformation has come, a larva wraps itself in a cocoon and becomes a chrysalis. Just imagine how that might feel. Suddenly the larva is constricted, can't move anymore, and the light darkens. Then a disintegration begins. Some cells die, others revert to an undifferentiated state. Some cluster together as imaginal discs that carry a genetic blueprint for new structures. If you compare a caterpillar to a butterfly, they seem worlds apart, and yet one transforms into the other," unquote. This process is an example of confusion and is exactly how the stretch zone works. The old fuses with the new to establish growth. The stretch zone has important implications for brain health. In her book, This Year I Will, Andy Ryan says, quote, "Getting into the stretch zone is good for you. It helps keep your brain healthy. It turns out that unless we continue to learn new things, which challenges our brains to create new pathways, they literally begin to atrophy, which may result in dementia, Alzheimer's, and other brain diseases," unquote. Continuously stretching ourselves will even help us lose weight, according to one study. Researchers who asked folks to do something different every day, listen to a new radio station, for instance, found that they lost and kept off weight. No one is sure why, but scientists speculate that getting out of routines makes us more aware in general. Which of the three zones of development do you tend to inhabit? Do you prize comfort, resist change? If so, you may be someone who lives mostly in the comfort zone. Do you love learning and growing? Then you maybe spend most of your time in the stretch zone. If you often feel stressed and overwhelmed, you may be inhabiting the stress zone. All three zones have their place in life. The comfort zone is the phase of hibernation. In winter, no shoots can be seen above the ground, but beneath the earth, roots are growing. The shoots are getting ready to pierce the soil and taste the sunlight. This phase is common in creative endeavors. It's the stillness and seeming dullness that we can experience just before a brainwave. We need to inhabit the stress zone when we're faced with a new situation that has to be mastered in a hurry. The stretch zone is a zone of creativity and innovation. Donna Markova said something very interesting about it. Quote, "You cannot have innovation unless you are willing and able to move through the unknown and go from curiosity to wonder," unquote. This means that in order to come through confusion into growth, we need to embrace not knowing. We need to develop a tolerance for ambiguity. This not knowing allows us to find something new in our life and grow in a way we couldn't previously imagine. You just listened to the post titled Overcoming Life Challenges with These Three Powerful Principles by Mary Jaksch of goodlifezen.com. I'm going to keep this ending nice and short for you, super short. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow for Minimalist Monday, where your optimal life awaits.
Hey, this is Dan from the Optimal Finance Daily podcast, which is a lot like this show, except more focused on personal finance. Justin handpicks the best posts he can find from blogs and authors like Ramit Sethi, Mr. Money Mustache, and more, and I read them to you 5 days a week. So if you enjoy this podcast, come on over and subscribe to Optimal Finance Daily too. And together, we'll optimize your financial life.
You've been listening to Optimal Living Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode, and head to oldpodcast.com, that's OLDpodcast.com, for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.